Hi guys, this is Danny Morris. I'm going to be talking about Module 5. This is our visualization unit, and I'm going to be talking a little bit more about it from the perspective of a kindergartner and a kindergarten teacher, because sometimes out there we have to really focus on what the kindergartner can understand when it comes to the different visualizations of the computer and from the hypermedia. So I'm going to be looking at the three components that Dr. Jones talked about with us on our Google Classroom. The first three components are typography. I want to look for the different fonts, the highlighting, and the line length of the different websites. I also want to look at the screen design and how much of information is presented. Information is good when you are searching for something, but sometimes too much information or information overload can just be overwhelming for the person who is viewing the website. And finally, I'm looking at media. I'm going to look at the graphics, the animation, the video, the audio. I'm going to look at what is presented to me in the media and see how well it is organized. So, what makes it a cluttered visualizations? Sometimes, like I said earlier, if there's too many visuals, it can get overwhelming. The spatial organization, if everything is kind of cluttered and it's chaotic and not spread out, that organization can get a little overwhelming as well. And pictures and text, if they are intertwined, if they are all kind of cluttered together and pushed in a way where the text overlaps on the graphics and so forth, that can make it a little complicated. So I'm going to look here at two different examples. I'm going to look at a cluttered resource and a good resource. Now, like I said, for upper elementary students, for middle school, high school students, and for us, these may not seem as overwhelming, but I'm looking at this from the perspective of a kindergartner and how that visualization is going to help them cognitively. So the first website is a website that I have a lot of friends have recommended. This is the Almanac for Kids, so it is very popular. If I click on it here, this is the website that comes up. Now, if you see, there's all of those things that I mentioned earlier. We have lots of text and graphics. There's a lot of smaller text. There are different types of things that can really overwhelm us. And if I were a kindergartner, if I was a younger child or a younger student, I wouldn't know where my attention is supposed to be drawn. So I'm looking over, this is nice and neatly organized over here. I can look at the different categories. So I see here that I am on the calendar part because that little dot is green. So I'm looking and I see I have this week, I have celebrations this month, question of the day. See, there's just different little categories that could be organized a little bit better. Now, if I want to go to something, let's say I'm really interested in pets and I can click on pets. I'm going to go here, and there are so many different things going on. There is different fonts up here, different graphics. I don't know if I'm supposed to be clicking on these. I don't know what these are. I have a question right here. How old is your dog? Then I have something about birds. And then I have something about cats. And now that's all in one big section right here. And that's several different types of information that is overwhelming for my viewer. Now, I don't know exactly how my students would use this as well, except for these random popular facts and quizzes and different types of things like that. So I'm looking a little bit closer at the pets. See, now this all information right here would get confusing for those students as well. So I'm going to come back up. Puzzles. Puzzles might be kind of fun for my students. Now, puzzles and games are something that draws kindergarten kids. And if I look on here again, we have several different things. We have blinking graphics. We have another quiz. We have word finds, jigsaw puzzles. We still see the webcam. We see the book. And I think that this is way too complicated if we only have these two different types of puzzles. The rest of this is just extra stuff for the group. So, in my honest opinion, I think that if you had an intended purpose for this website, I think this website would be good for older students. Now, I don't think that the younger students would be able to navigate this very clearly, and I don't think that they would find an intended purpose. So, next thing that I can do is I'm going to show you a website that I use often. Now, this website is great for kindergartners because they love to use the interactive version of it. So this is ABC, yeah, and I'm sure many of you have heard of this. If I click on the home screen, instantly it is very organized. My students can look on this and they can say, oh, I'm in kindergarten, and so they can click on grade K. Once they click on grade K, it takes you to several different categories. Not too many words, not too many paragraphs, not different fonts. There's some cute graphics. And they can look at different things. They can say, okay, I know my letters. I can do my numbers, holiday strategy, or skills, and click on the necessary link that they would like. Now, they can scroll down if they would rather just look at all of the categories, or let's say I have a student that would really like to work on his or her numbers. So if they click on numbers, it automatically takes you to that, and it can show you all the different games that they can play. Now, the great thing about this website is for my non-reading students, my students who have yet to complete that task and to master that skill, they can look at all the different graphics. I know that a lot of girls would like to play this game. I can look, if I have some boys that really like talking about money and coins, they can learn about that. They can scroll down, oh, monkeys, that looks cute. I love these monsters. They would love to click something like that as well. So this really organizes it for them. Now, all they have to do is scroll back up to the top. If they don't know where they are or where they need to go, they can go, let's say they would like to go a grade higher, they can go to first grade, and it's the same thing. It takes you right back. So I bring you back to the presentation. Visualization is a great thing for students. It is a great way to organize, and we really want to make sure that that visualization is great and it can be utilized well for the students. So with that being said, I hope this presentation was an informative one and that those two website resources are ones that are easily understood, and that we will pay more attention as teachers as to what resources will be easy for our students to understand. Thank you.